Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason. I'm speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. And today I'm continuing my list of my top 100 favorite albums, which I haven't done for a little while. I have so many different projects I like to work on, like my Beatles project and my Best Picture rankings and top 20 movies per decade. I don't know. I just love making lists and discussing them, so I'm constantly making new lists. Anyway, so I know I need to get back to trying to finish this top 100 favorite albums I started almost 6 months ago, I think. So now I'm at number 59 on my list, and this album is called August and Everything After, and it's by the band The Counting Crows. Came out in 1993. This is their debut album, first studio album that they came out with, and really put them, of course, first album, but it was a pretty good album, pretty big album at the time. Did well. Really put them on the map as one of the top bands at that time. If you don't know, the members are Adam Duritz is the vocalist. He's the face of the group. Really, he's the one you probably know the most. Interesting looking guy. He's had different hairstyles during the years. Very unique, odd hairstyles. He's done like kind of dreadlocks kind of look. Anyway, so he's a vocalist. He also like the lead writer. He writes a lot of the songs. Steve Bowman does drums. David Bryson guitar. Charlie Gillingham keyboards, and Matt Malley as the bass. Anyway, so a 5-member band. I kind of knew Counting Crows. I didn't know him at this time. In 1993, I was about 10 years old, and I hadn't gotten into music yet. In fact, I think I just was starting to get into discovering the Beatles and 60s music, and that's when I first kind of started falling in love with music. It wouldn't really be until 1995 that I started listening to modern music of the time, so I wouldn't listen to what was going on, what was popular for that day at this time. So I didn't really know the Counting Crows till probably 1996 when their next album came out, Recovering the Satellites, and that was one that I was big on. That was one I heard a lot of songs, new songs on the radio, and loved their sound, loved the songs I was hearing. And so then, of course, listen to radio. I would hear some of the songs off of this album that were big hits, anyways. And yeah, I just absolutely love the band sounds. One of my favorite rock bands of the '90s. In fact, I got to see them in concert. I haven't been to too many concerts really in my life. But I went to a concert in, I think 2019, the summer 2019. They did a tour. The opening band was Live, which was another '90s rock band that had a lot of hits. But it was really cool getting to see Counting Crows live, and I was pretty close to the front of the stage, and still sounded great. Um, anyway, so it was really great to see this band that I was a fan of like 20 plus years ago, and get to see them live, anyways, and get to enjoy their music. Um, yeah, so yeah, I'm fairly big. I'd say a fairly big fan of theirs. Their early stuff here in the '90s. Really, this album and Becoming Satellites were the only two big albums, really. And then the next album, I forget the name of it, had like a big hit on it, but they kind of disappeared in 2000. They did do Accidentally in Love, which got an Oscar nomination for Shrek 2, which was a really good song. So they are an Oscar nominated band, actually, because of that song. Anyways, but they haven't been really relevant for a while. Um, But still, I love Adam Duritz. His vocals are excellent. He's one of my favorite male vocalists of all time. I remember a while back on Facebook when I used to make lists before I did a YouTube channel. I did a list of my favorite male vocalists, and he was in my top 10 favorite male vocalists. He has such a interesting voice. He, of course, as a great singer, you obviously have great tone to your voice. You have a great vocal range. You sing louds and softs, very well. You can hit big notes and really, please the ear and get the emotions out. I don't know, but he has this way of singing that is very vulnerable. It really gets the emotions of the song. And that's a really good singer to me. Someone who can really make you feel the emotions of the song, and he does that so well. Besides having such a great voice when he hits those big notes and so forth. Absolutely love it. Also, as a writer, I really love his lyrics. He's very poetic in his way he writes. They're not the lyrics. When you listen to you don't quite understand exactly what they mean right away. You almost kind of have to look at the lyrics and kind of analyze them and try to find the meaning behind them. Anyways, and so he does paint some really interesting images with the songs that I really like. Anyways, and I just love their overall sound. It's such a really great sound. Um, they're a mixture of, I say, rock and pop music mostly. Some of their music is it's really slow sounding, but his voice really hooks you in anyways. And they can do some more heavier rock music, not as much, but they're a very good band musically and all that. This album charted number 4 in the U.S. and number 6 in the U.K. Like I said, it did pretty well. Had it lists 4 singles, only 3 really did anything. The biggest single off here was "Mr. Jones," went number 5 in the U.S. And that's probably their biggest hit, probably the most well-known song. It's a very interesting song. Story about him and Mr. Jones and them like going out and kind of I don't know, partying or something like that. And it's about a song about life. And anyways, I love the song as lyrically. It's very interesting to listen to. And like I probably heard this from radio, but I remember watching Saturday Night Live, like an old version of Saturday Night Live back in 1993, and he sung this live on Saturday Night Live, and it's a really good performance, one of his best performances, I think, or one of the best performances I've seen on Saturday Night Live. And that's really, I think, Mr. Jones really put him on the map as this kind of cool new upcoming band. Anyways, and so that's definitely the one to listen to really get into what they're about as a band. Then the Round Here was another big hit for them, number 6 in the UK. I guess it didn't come out in the US or something like that for some reason, but it was on the radio a lot in the 90s when I was growing up. I remember, and it's another really excellent song lyrically and vocally, hits these really amazing notes. And then Rain King went number 66 in the US, 49 in the UK, 18 in Canada. Still another really excellent song that I remember hearing on the radio a lot. Not as high as the other ones, but still a decent song and hit. And this says "A Murder of One" was a single, but it didn't do anything chart-wise. Yeah, so I talked enough about the band, and I've kind of talked about my favorite songs already, but I'll still go to my top 3 favorite songs. And it's basically their singles are my top 3 because they were on the radio a lot, and I remember hearing those and absolutely loving them. And I heard them sing live too, which was real fun. Number 3 is "Rain King." It says their lowest single on here, but still excellent, like I said, excellent vocals and everything, and real catchy song. And number 2, "Round Here." Yeah, just a great vocalist song. Hit the chorus when he hits "around here," like just so excellent. And then number 1 is "Mr. Jones." It's kind of, like I said, just lyrically, it's just such an interesting song to listen to. And it's kind of the song about him and Mr. Jones going out and having these conversations about life and all this anyway. So very interesting lyrically. None of it necessarily makes sense to me, but it's very interesting to listen to, and just very catchy. The Mr. Jones chorus, so catchy, and just once you hear it, you just have to sing along, and it's in your head afterwards, and just gives a great performance on that song. So definitely check those 3 out on this album. Excellent songs, but yeah, overall excellent album. Love the overall sound anyway. So that's August and Everything After, number 59 on my list. And so thank you for watching this video, and thank you for anybody who likes the video, and thank you to all my subscribers for supporting the video. I really appreciate it. Have a good day.